Hello, everybody, and better late than never. This is The Yard Sign, the most important relevant podcast in politics. Your host is always Jonny Torres. How you doing? Hope you're having a great time in this crazy world of news and politics that we're going to be diving into today, because there's a lot to cover and a lot of craziness involved in all that is to cover, including we're going to try out a new segment where we call the Yard Sign Strategory. Is what I've decided to call it, as we take a look at campaign yard signs, and we kind of pick them apart, tell you the good ones, the bad ones, and of course why they're going to help win the election. Thank you so much for watching, listening to the podcast wherever you may be doing so. Don't forget, you can pick up the audio podcasts on any of your favorite podcast platforms, especially over at the Tech Overlords at Google, Apple, Spotify, Audible, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Odyssey, and Samsung podcast platforms. Before we get into tonight's topics, before we get into tonight's panel of one, we're going to get into the topics, which is fist bump fallout. Biden again just can't seem to get out of his own way. Florida politics getting feisty, but if you know anything about politics, it's that time of year, so things are about to get real interesting. And Fauci, Anthony Fauci, announcing a retirement, hopefully, better late than never, right? And as I said, yard sign strategy. We're going to talk about yard signs, the ones that are out there for this cycle, at least here in the Tampa Bay area, and the good ones, the bad ones, and the ugly ones. So joining me as always is Anibal, David Cabrera, who can't seem to.
Hello. Okay, there we go.
Chomping at the bit.
Why do you cut my mic off every single time?
Because I like to do a clean intro,
Who
so
says
people know.
I'm not going to say anything.
Of course, you always say it. You can't help yourself.
I find that offensive.
You're like the greyhound at the gate, just itching to be like let go.
The thing is, like, I'm trying to correct you, and so because of
correct me as to what the topics.
I like them. I like what you did with the
Fauci, right?
That's good.
Yeah, I put thought into it.
Who would have thought when we put thought into things, it comes out amazing?
Right? Yeah, exactly. When things are well planned, they typically go well.
Like, if it's not a good header, then you know it's not us.
Right, exactly. Or we just didn't have time to come up with something clever. Yeah. Fist bump fallout again, as President Biden makes pretend that he's not intentionally driving this country into the ground by going over to the OPEC countries, over to, I think it was Saudi Arabia.
It was Saudi Arabia.
And I didn't see this now infamous fist bump situation, but I can only imagine it was probably as graceful as him falling off his bike.
It was beautiful.
And again, the pathetic thing is, and the part that infuriates me, is that he thinks that all Americans are stupid, because we're all falling for this, this sideshow. That he's trying to blame it on everybody but himself, when again, it's his policies that have gotten us to this place. And now Saudi Arabia's like, no, screw you. You guys had amazing oil prices, for the last better part of 10 years, if not longer, based on their unit measurements, and they're going to cash in. And they don't take him seriously. They don't respect this guy. People, Democrats wanted to talk about a president who was not respected and who was not taken seriously.
No one is respecting Grandpa on the world stage.
None whatsoever. It's literally like they just might as well just pat him on the head and say, okay, here you go, take your medicine. Also,
we're getting statements from the actual, the Saudis communication director and everything else, who does a much better job than our communication director. And he's like, that's not what we talked about at all. We didn't talk about oil prices. What are you talking about? He didn't bring up the assassination of the
Khashoggi.
Of Khashoggi. I don't know what you're talking about. It's that kind of what were we there for? And again,
well, even he doesn't know.
But
let's be honest. Even Biden doesn't know why we're there.
Correct. But the biggest point of all is why one of the largest oil producers in the world is asking another oil producer, one of the biggest oil producers of the world, to produce more oil. That's not how this works.
When just 2 years ago, we were almost entirely energy independent.
Yeah, but that means we don't have something to fight for or fight about.
Well, and again, it goes to show you how quickly you can bring a country to its knees.
But this isn't the first time this has happened.
No.
This happened in the 70s during Carter.
Right.
When there was a huge kerfuffle when it comes to oil prices. And we're at that
Well,
again.
and we're seeing now the adverse effect of that on the rest of the world. As, again, a lot of this green policy stuff, which is what's causing this. It's because they want to be green in the eyes of the world. Meanwhile, again, countries like China and India continue to pollute the heck out of the oceans and the rivers and the ground and everything. But it's these green policies that they want to adhere to, this Paris Accord nonsense that nobody's following except the countries that are already doing, or at least making an effort.
And even the countries that are making an effort, like Belgium, who's definitely, in some other European countries, they have their farmers are now starting to protest at their capitals because they're trying to kick out cow and dairy farmers because of the pollution that the cow is creating. And I say this over and over again. These policies are meant to hurt Americans, are meant to hurt the poor and those that are just now starting to move up the ladder of success. Whereas, why are we talking about raising gas prices and the majority of people that are driving vehicles are those that cannot afford an increase in gasoline? Why aren't we increasing the cost of jet fuel for private planes? That is a logical thing that we should be doing. If you want to reduce economic
they're getting
impact,
hit too.
Yeah, but they can afford the hit.
Sure, right.
When Davos is talking about green energy and 90% of the people that are attending there flew in,
right,
and they instead of zooming in,
accompanied by the yacht,
yeah, exactly, connected to the
right,
yeah, and so the plane takes off from the yacht. These are the people that you should be trying to figure out a way to have them reduce their pollution intake instead of having the poor and those that are the working class do it. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, again, you got to understand that from Biden's perspective, he's been of the political class his entire life. Mm-hmm. And so he feels that the rules don't apply to him. He feels that, much like his son, they can use drugs, they can be corrupt, they can solicit other types of illegal behavior, and they're going to get away with it because they are in power.
I don't know. If the House turns to Republicans, there's going to be a lot of new
but where's
committees to look and see of how much pay to play is happening.
Where are the agencies? Where are the federal agencies on this? Where's the ATF? Where's the DEA? Where's the FBI?
They're the ones that had Hunter Biden's laptop and forgot to pick it up.
Yeah.
But that's
claim they never had it in the first place.
That's the sad part of this whole situation. We are focusing on things that we shouldn't focus on. I watched it in a Hills commentary a few days, I think yesterday, and they were talking about how, China is the leader of green energy and everything else. And I thought to myself, does he not know how many coal plants are being fired on every single day in China that are restarted?
They believe anything that their state-run media puts out.
Oh, it was so annoying. It was so upsetting, and I got more frustrated as I was hearing the article. I was watching the newscast because I'm like, if that's where they think that China is more green than the United States, then please, by all means, keep on talking to your journalists because that's just not true whatsoever.
Meanwhile, go over there and tell me what the air pollution's like.
Oh no, take a breath.
Right.
Take a breath in Beijing, and then let's have a conversation. Yeah. And it's so overwhelming. And again, you're willing to have the United States and other Western countries deteriorate their economies for then China and India to be able to continue polluting the way they want to pollute.
But that's always been the goal for Democrats. That's always been the goal for the left.
Yeah, Democrats hate the poor and the working class.
Well, and to level the United States, put the United States on a level playing field with the rest of the world. Mm-hmm. They hate American superiority.
They really do. They're not willing to talk about it. So there was another cast talking about how it's only what the sins of white Americans is what we need to start paying for, and like white people need to pay for what their ancestors did. And then someone's like, well, do you know of another economic and government system that's better than the United States? And yes, we do. There's a bunch of northern European countries. So other white dominated countries have superior.
Yeah, they point to like Sweden, Denmark,
and it's like more homogenous. And I'm like, I get so frustrated and so upset and we can talk about this as individuals of second generations and first generation in this country. I get sick and tired of people that have been like 10 generations here talking shit about the United States and how detrimental the country is and how bad the institutions are. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you have no idea The privilege that you're speaking from is so ridiculous.
In the ignorance.
Whereas you just go back 2 generations in my family and we're somewhere in Tegucigalpa in Honduras or the capital in Dominican Republic.
No, or you travel to some of these, even a country like Colombia, which is pretty close to, I would say to a republic like the United States, economically, maybe even close to first world, status. I mean, I would certainly consider them such, but
Colombia?
Yeah.
Colombia is not first class.
Okay,
first
but I'm saying close to it.
Colombia is like a lot of other countries in the Middle East and in Central and South America is a developing nation. Right. That's what it is. Yes.
Yeah, I know, but they're not third world either.
No, but they are developing.
Right. So my point being is,
am I allowed to say developing? I don't know if AOC likes that terminology.
Well, my point being is that you go there and you're going to see true poverty.
Yes.
Okay. Like the next time you go on your like fancy cruise to the Bahamas or Jamaica, especially Jamaica, Costa Rica, like get away from the resort for a little bit, go into like the parts of town where they tell you not to go to. Okay. And you're going to see what these countries are really like and what true poverty is really like. And you're going to see children who are on drugs out on the street. You're going to see homeless children, which you don't see in this country. You're going to see children working, okay, on construction sites, working trash fields, selling things, trying to make a buck on the street. And that's the kind of ignorance and true entitlement that we have as Americans, as just simply being an American. Because again, when we talk about our status as Americans, like we are the 1%.
Correct. The entire country is the 1%. If you have air conditioning and a TV in your house, you're a part of the 1%. And that was when I went on missions trips to the Eastern Bloc, that they used to call it, back in the day when I was in high school. And that was like, if you have a vehicle, if you have a car, if you have a house, if you don't have to worry about your next meal, or you have air conditioning, you are a part of the 1% in the world. And I think people don't understand how stupid they sound when they start talking crap about the United States as citizens that live inside the system itself. You're upset with the system, that's fine. Then change the system. I don't see you protesting in front of certain judges that you don't agree with or that you feel that are racist. Like these are things that people need to talk about and need to work for. If you want a better union, a better system, then we need to work for it and we need to be a part of the system. Like that's why I don't like it when people just show up every 4 years or show up like a month before an election and they start talking crap and everything else. You haven't been here. No one knows who you are.
Right. Yeah.
And you want to affect change. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, now it's back to the drawing board for President Biden. He tried blaming this on Putin. Nobody bought it. He tried this federal tax relief, which again, I mean, it's a drop in the bucket. Because, you look back and sure, maybe gas is now back down to around $4 or just under $4.
If I have to hunt for $3.99.
Well, yeah, but think about it. And then just 2 years ago, we were at half that.
And people at the administration are like, well, you should be happy that prices are going down. No, because at the end of the day, why prices are going down is because China, 33 cities in China are either in complete lockdown or some sort of lockdown.
No, and
so that causes problem within that stuff.
It's that kind of thing where, if you're being fed like rice and chicken every day, but there's steak in the freezer. You know what I mean? It's like, the possibility that, we could be energy independent. We could have gas at or below $2. And it's frustrating to know the possibilities or the capabilities that we have as a nation and understand that this country, that this administration is legitimately undermining us.
If you don't want that prestige and that privilege and that lifestyle, that's fine. I can think of 30 other Americans right on top of my head that would love to have the access that you have. And again, they're all about privilege and distribution of the wealth and everything. Fine, give up your kid's slot for Harvard or give up your kid's slot for an actual a non-state school. Yeah, there's things that you could legitimately do to spread the wealth and everything else, and that's not happening. And people are so ignorant of the fact. Again, I love this country. My mom voted for the first time. She voted for Trump for the first time. And it's like, it was just so awe-inspiring to see someone that was living in this country as a citizen, as a permanent resident, take the test, become a citizen. I have a picture of her waving the big flag in front of our voting precinct. I'm crying. Dad's crying. Deanna's, my sister's crying. Everyone's crying. And it's just a bunch of Hispanics in the middle of a parking lot, like living the American dream.
Right.
And then I look around and all the people that I know and people that you know, all of us are living the American dream. Yeah. Everyone is living their lives, working, growing the economy, growing their families. And then you see these people on like CNBC from New York in a 12-story walk-up saying, "Woe is me," and I'm like, I don't see how you live that life.
Right.
It's not my world. It's not my bubble. Or like people.
And if you want a reality check, and this is from experience because I've gone to a number of them. If you truly want a reality check and a reminder of what it means to be an American, go to a naturalization ceremony.
Oh yeah,
that's all you got to do. Just go to one. They hold them like every month, every quarter, couple months.
Yeah, every couple months.
And that will just reaffirm your patriotism and your reasons for just loving this country.
We've talked about this before. Why is not, and this is again the only people that I can influence and I can express and I can honestly like touch is my circle. Why isn't our HRAC going down there every time they do it?
No, they used to.
And I remember that we would all go and we would fly like flags and everything else. We'd hand out flags and almost hand out care packages because now you're an official American citizen. You're giving them like the pocket constitution. I think I even have a pocket constitution in my bag, which I think every American should have, honestly. Yeah. Because that's what protects your rights.
Well, and I love it when liberals think they're quoting the Constitution when they're actually quoting.
Rights.
Yeah, exactly. That's always the fun one.
Or the emancipation, not emancipation, the Monte Carlo. They would always quote another document. You're like, I don't even think that's a part of the founding documents.
Yeah, no. But again, this just goes to show that the Biden administration either literally has no clue what they're doing, or they're intentionally working towards destroying this country. And honestly, it could possibly be both.
FYI, my sister cries all the time. Just want to throw that out there. She made a comment in the comment section about me blowing her up about crying. Oh, girl, gosh. It was hilarious. It was very touching.
All right, so thank you again for watching The Yard Sign. Anibal, David Cabrera, and I doing the show today. We had a special guest lined up, and it just kind of fell apart at the last minute, so we're going to get that rescheduled and bring that to you at a later date. But nonetheless, there's plenty to talk about, especially Florida politics getting feisty. And our good friend Joe Wicker actually made a great comment in our chat group that we use, to kind of plan the show and talk about the direction of the show. And he goes, "I love the last 2 months of politics before an election." He goes, because it's like high school, only everybody has money.
Also, I think we need to redefine the topic bullet. So pull it back up real quick. So it's literally the state of Florida politics gets feisty, not Florida politics. Let's all be very clear.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about
the state of Florida politics.
Yes, I mean, for those like super insiders. I mean, but really,
So yeah, so in this,
so what we're go ahead.
So yeah, so there are 2 times of the cycle that when something's about to come. The month before the primaries and then the month before the actual general election, because that's the weekend or the week when absentee ballots go out to the general public. And when that hits, the goal of every consultant is to get their mailer inside that mail piece as well.
By the way, folks, if you've never kind of done the math on this and you wonder why all of a sudden you get a rush of mailers the same week or so that you get your mail-in ballot, this is why.
Because they want the day that you have your mail-in ballot and you are on the kitchen counter or the kitchen table looking at who you're going to vote, that within that mail grab that you have has their piece, either negative or positive. And it is to a science how that works. Or like who gets who what.
I mean, it is pretty amazing.
What print shop gets what.
When I would sit down with some of these consultants and to see them do the math and knowing, okay, for me to get it to this person's house on this day, I need to mail it on this day. and to make sure that everybody gets it by that date. I mean, the math isn't complicated, but I mean the strategy, or as I like to say today, strategery behind it. I mean, it's pretty fascinating, and people don't realize.
They don't realize it.
It's one of those things that's happening subconsciously, and they don't even realize how they're being manipulated.
There's one consultant that I know of that I've walked into their office before, and there is a calendar that shows the window of when these things are supposed to happen.
Right.
I thought it was ingenious when I saw because it's a visual aid of what everyone that's walking in there. That's what you want. At the end of the day, that's what you want. You want your consultant to know your schedule, which is why hiring a consultant out of state is always weird, because that means they're not aware of what we do here.
Right.
And even having a consultant that's not within your county is also very weird.
Because even like some of the references they make or some of the ways they kind of portray.
Don't get me wrong. If we were Leon County or like one of the other podunk county, Leon the capital.
It is.
It is.
If the capital were not there, it would basically just be a college town.
It would be a college town. How we're talking about Tallahassee.
It would be Gainesville.
But like counties between Ocala and like
let's say like Hardy County, which is a county that very few people have ever heard of. It's actually part of Tampa Bay.
Correct. It's
just to the inside of Polk and Hillsborough County.
But unless you are, and so for those kind of locations where it's very community based, you get a consultant that lives like across the street from someone. But like Tampa Bay, I get it. You can get someone from like Miami, someone from Orlando. That makes a little bit of sense.
Depending on the race, you can get away with that.
You can get away with it. But then you have those consultants that are like coming out of DC or coming out of Los Angeles, which I think is crazy. And they sweep in and they hire everyone to give them the clout of the locale to figure it out. And those are more congressional district races. But yeah, so you're seeing this now. And now,
well, that's another thing I think we should do is as these mail pieces come in, we'll kind of collect them and then bring them in, and we'll dissect them.
Actually, let's tell our people, once you start getting mailers, send us an email or a DM us the picture,
and we'll tell you where to send them.
Yeah, we'll tell you where to send them.
Either send us a picture or you can send us the piece.
We'll love it.
Stick them all in an envelope and then
talk
just
about it,
mail them to us.
We're going to talk about the yard signs today.
That's going to be fun.
It's going to be so much fun. And then you have the situation where on Fridays and on Mondays, you get the dumps from the websites.
Right.
And those are the best when you see that, because I feel a mail piece is more of a strategic hit, whereas someone that's going to one of the big websites here in Florida for a political attack ad, which again, I'll say this, all of them are all pay to play. I don't care what anyone says. Every website that is talking about politics, almost all of them are pay to play.
Literally, unless it's one of the newspapers that most people don't even trust or read anymore.
Yeah. If it was a newspaper, I kind of would be more okay with it.
Yeah.
Because like there are at least some layer of
checks and balances.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's an editorial process.
Whereas as a website, you have to trust the website itself to feed you the news.
That's how they make their money.
Exactly. And that's what odds are they're running banners already for other politicians.
Yeah. And you're not going to bite the hand that feeds you.
Yeah. And that's why you kind of see where newspapers don't do as much of it, but you see the websites taking everyone and always talking about people. So it's always interesting to see where it goes. However, that's what I'm saying. Every Friday, you're going to see a new dump of
and they know
articles.
that these contested races is where they're going to make their money.
Oh my gosh, all the local ones.
Yeah.
It's all the county commissioner seats that have like 3 different people running for the same seat.
Yeah, look, and oftentimes, I mean, they're actually writing very little of what some of these hit pieces are.
It's just a regurgitation. That's all it is.
Yeah, or they're literally handed the story already written, and they'll run it as is, under the guise of one of their writers. But again, it goes to show you that the original premise of the show, which was, to show people that the political process isn't what they think it is.
Correct.
And that there is a lot. I mean, even some of the stuff that comes up in, let's say, the Tampa Bay Times or the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times, the Miami Herald, like, they don't understand that there's a consultant or a campaign manager feeding stuff to this reporter, feeding
all the time,
just throwing bait out there, bait until they finally bite on something and write a piece to take down their opponent.
And that's what the consultants are here for. Like, I don't understand why people don't understand that more often.
Right.
The consultants are here to make sure their candidate wins, and everyone does oppo research. And so, like, because everyone does oppo research, it's going to eventually find itself in a mailer or inside an article. Sometimes in the bigger races, for senator or or congressional or even presidency, you'll see like actual like TV ads, but those things are so expensive to run. You can't do that.
Yeah.
But it's actually pretty cheap to do a mailer. You could do a mailer for less than $10,000.
Well, and again, when it comes to hit pieces online, especially nowadays, it's very easy. The more salacious, the easier it is to get it to spread. And that saves you a lot of money.
It does.
Because
I think
because the cost of disseminating something online is so inexpensive.
it is, but at the end of the day, online has yet to be proven that it moves the needle when it comes to elections in local levels. I can see, and I think I made this comment years ago, last cycle. If you're a congressional or a senator or even governor and higher running for a race, you want to do everything.
Right.
TV, media, press, and print. And the reason why is because you're casting as big as a net as possible. For senator, you have 20 million people to influence. As governor, you have 20 million people to influence. As district 1 for county commission, you got 50,000 people. So it makes more sense to do a mailer than to do TV or anything else.
Yeah, and
even with multimedia,
more local,
this, it's much more difficult when it comes, because you're not selling a product, you're selling someone of a possibility to vote for.
Now, the only upside is that, again, like, for example, most people don't know that the supervisor of elections will willingly give a copy of every registered voter to these campaigns. And so you can upload those databases into advertising platforms and directly target those individuals with advertising. But again, at the local level, it gets so expensive to do that that most of them don't.
No.
But could you? Absolutely.
Well, again, the best thing for a candidate to do would be to walk the streets. I'm going to get much more play of me walking with 10 other people that are going to post, that are in my district, that are going to post pictures of them walking and campaigning for me and canvassing. So now that one post turns into 10 posts, that probably turns into 20, 50, 100. And that is much more organic. You'll get more bang for the buck organically for that kind of stuff.
Right.
You just putting a post out there and then sharing the post is not going to give you any organic growth whatsoever, or at least not with inside the bubble that you're trying to get
and
into.
the algorithms right now are so harsh that, again, only 10% of the people that you're actually connected to are even going to see it.
And that's why I think it's for campaigns that are focusing more on digital, they're gonna have a very difficult time to win that district. Whereas you have, I'll name names. Jackie Toledo. For as much as people say, she works her butt off, walking every single day.
We talked to her today, and that's what she was doing.
And she was walking.
Yeah.
And that's, what, I would rather that be the excuse than anything else.
But you also got to realize that these people have come up through someone who's led by example, right?
Correct.
So she came up with Dana Young, who, again, as much of a sure thing as she was for quite some time in terms of her getting elected, until she wasn't. But she would go out there and walk. And I know firsthand because I walked with her.
Correct.
I literally, was her walk partner in her last campaign. And people think, I think oftentimes a lot of these people come in and they think, oh, I don't need to do that. Or that's beneath me, or my volunteers to do it. And they don't realize that when you get to that door, more often than not, the person wants to see the actual candidate.
Correct.
And if they can't speak to the actual candidate, you better at least be able to point at them down the street.
So perfect example. Scott Levinson was doing a walk a few weeks ago, and what occurred was one of the individuals that we stopped at their house asked us where the candidate was. And so we told our walkers, if you come up with that, let us know, because he's literally just down the street walking his own precinct, and we're making sure he's walking the map that we assigned him. And so I got into my car, I had Scott with me, and we drove to the person's house, and Scott talked to them for like 20 minutes. And that's what you want. You want the availability. Yeah. There should never be a time when there's an organized walk where the candidate is not walking.
Well, and most times, again, for folks who don't know, the doors, if you ever see a campaign walking through your neighborhood and they're not coming to your door, that means
you don't matter.
You don't vote enough.
You don't vote enough. I'm being honest.
Right.
You don't matter because you don't vote.
Right.
And so your desires and thoughts don't matter to that person because you don't vote. Again, this isn't rocket science.
Saying thoughts and prayers don't work. Is that what you just said?
Girl.
So, in terms of, again, Florida politics, or the politics in the state of Florida getting feisty, again, hit pieces are starting to come out in some of these blogs. We're seeing mailers are going to start coming out.
Those get vicious.
Those get super ugly.
Vicious.
Super ugly.
Like talking about people's grandmothers and everything.
Well, and then you get into those that are done by, these kind of no-name packs.
That appeared a week ago.
Right, exactly.
And then disappeared the following week.
Yeah. And those always cause drama. Inevitably, there's a few mail pieces that end up making the news.
Correct.
And it is the ugly side of politics.
Yeah. You never want to see campaigns divulge into he said, she says. Like, those are just a waste of time. And
but as you and I know, like, if you're going to hit someone, you better hit right.
Exactly. If you're gonna punch first, it better land.
Right.
And that's the problem with, I think, a lot of these hit pieces that I see, because they're trying to take one thing or trying to take it, and it doesn't hit. Mm-hmm. You see that all the time, talking about someone's past infidelity or something. Yeah. It needs to hit and hit hard.
Or that nowadays, again, like, things have changed. Mm-hmm. People don't look at, let's say, divorce the same way. Mm-hmm. People don't look at bankruptcies the same way. Those used to be disqualifiers.
People see cocaine the same way.
And crack.
I had no idea there was a difference between crack and cocaine.
Yeah, crack is a derivative of cocaine.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm answering that.
I don't know. Well, you would know.
Every show, dang it.
You walk into it. What am I supposed to do?
What's crazy is, at least, again, in the state of Florida, the one race that got out early with the ugly ads was actually the Senate race between Senator Rubio and Val Demings. Now,
I think she hit first.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
But what fascinated me is her ad. Like, you could have slapped either party on it, and you wouldn't know. She came out.
That means it doesn't work.
As a Democrat. No, and she came out as a Democrat and saying defunding the police, not under my watch, or some nonsense, some like cliche nonsense like that. Mind you, it's her party that was advocating for
That's
it.
Hilarious.
And again, you have a former police chief.
Yeah.
And so what else is she going to say?
If that's what you're hitting him on, then it's not going to work.
Right. Exactly.
Again, a good hit piece should be able to say everything you need to and just drop right.
Well, and this is part of the reason why incumbents are so hard to beat, because every cycle, if they haven't hit them with something every cycle, it only gets harder and harder to hit them with something. And so if they stay clean, again, like Senator Rubio, former Governor Scott, again, do they make news? Sure, over their stances on issues and this and that, but they're not out there doing anything stupid that's going to get them in trouble.
And I'll even use this as an example. Even Charlie Crist, in regards to, like, he technically has been in office for a very long time. Yeah. He's run governorship and everything else. So he's now in a primary against Nikki Free, right?
Right.
To be the Democrat nominee for that.
Oh, and allegedly Nikki got a better response at the Florida Democrat dinner than Charlie did.
First of all, how many people actually showed up to the dinner?
No, I don't know.
What are they selling? Kale?
It was like a vegetarian.
Yeah, on purpose. Everyone picked vegetarian so they could.
It's probably like a very woke menu. Yeah.
Every server was named Owen. The Democrats were the woke Olympics.
Everybody's name tags had their pronouns on them.
Oh, okay. He, she, them.
Right.
They. I think 50. I would purposely write all of them. Z, Zel, Zillow. Isn't that a home shopping? Not home shopping. Zillow is a real estate.
Yeah, the real estate site.
I don't know. I can say whatever I want. It's my pronoun.
So back to you were saying about Nikki Fried.
So she has a heck of a lot of baggage on her.
Right.
And Charlie has ran and won multiple times and has lost. Mm-hmm. So we know how we can beat him. So it's not. I don't worry about the governorship. I don't even worry about Marco Rubio, because you're right. getting rid of an incumbent is extremely difficult unless society in general is swaying and pushing back, which is why the red wave is going to be a lot more detrimental, I feel, come November than anything else. But you got to first get through the primary.
And look, I hate the Republicans out there, and obviously I'm emotionally close to the situation, but they go out there and they try to bash Senator Rubio because of this or that or whatever. It's like, again, he now is the senior senator from the state of Florida. He is now, if you think about it, he has held office the longest in the state of Florida of any congressman, any senator, any
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
The man that you worked for and that I have volunteered for is now the establishment.
When I remember when his campaign was a campaign of one.
Oh my god.
I mean, it was literally him.
Is that how old we are?
Yeah,
that's bad. That's bad. We've been doing this for a while. I think that's also what I forget all the time. I forget how long we've been playing this game.
So
it's a game. I think everyone needs to understand politics.
That's
is a
the
game.
thing. People don't realize that. People don't understand how much of a game it is.
And I love it.
But getting back to the Val Demings and Rubio ads, so Rubio hit. And he hit on basically Deming signing off on anything and everything Pelosi has to say or do or whatever, which I think is legit. That's easy. That's low hanging fruit. I mean, that's a good starting point. Even
she will not be House Speaker or even minority leader of the minority group after November. It's impossible. How do you keep her?
Well, there's already a lot of opinion pieces coming out from people on the left saying like, you old people need to go. I said that,
stupid.
But I said that
the largest voting block is those over the age of 65 and white.
I understand, but I said that to you. I said these younger generations, as they kind of come into the voting fray, they are going to demand that the older elected officials. They're going to clean house with these old.
I don't think they're going to clean house. I think
it's not going to be this cycle.
I don't think it's going to.
But it's coming.
I don't know if you have.
There's going to be upsets.
And you have that one fake Hispanic from Texas as your people. They're coming. Beto.
You couldn't even say it that way. I bet you.
If you have,
he probably thinks we're breakfast tacos too.
Oh my! I was livid when I heard that from the first lady. I was like, I don't even like tacos. This is so offensive.
And who's eating breakfast tacos?
Texans, I'm assuming.
Okay.
No. My thing that I got from her was that she couldn't say bodega. When she couldn't say bodega, I died. I'm like, girl, you're from the Northeast.
Or yes, we can. She couldn't even say that in Spanish.
How do you not say bodega? I don't understand. My white friends can say bodega.
Well, she couldn't even say yes, we can in Spanish.
Si se puede.
She butchered that.
She butchered it all.
But breakfast tacos aren't even a Mexican thing.
No, they're a Texas thing. The best thing was the Latin woke. Latinx was the image underneath the podium. I was like, this is phenomenal.
It's all wrong. It's all wrong.
It's 12 Hispanics that have identity politics in their mind. Right. Okay, let's move on. We can keep on talking this for a while. I'm sorry, producer.
So we're gonna be we'll be bringing you mail pieces. I'm gonna try to. We've got the ability to do it. I just got to take the time to set it up. We'll bring you even some video campaign ads that I think would be a lot of fun to play back and let you know kind of what's happening out there ad wise. What's cool now about the video component of campaigns is that now, thanks to YouTube, you can make as many campaign ads as you want. And you can drive people to your YouTube channel to see all these different campaign videos without having to spend the money to run them on television. But, hey, nobody listens to me, right? So, Fauci. We are getting word that Anthony Fauci may be tendering his resignation finally. Mind you, he shouldn't be tendering his resignation. He should be begging for a pardon. And I think history is not going to be kind to Anthony Fauci.
History has already told us that Anthony Fauci already had an issue when it comes to the AIDS epidemic during the 80s, and the way he dealt with that back then was atrocious, and for that alone, he should not have been allowed to stay in government.
And that's why I don't understand, why
for what he did to the AIDS,
and why was he still in a position of leadership? Why was he still in a position of power?
Because he's a white man.
Yeah, true. Yeah. And look, and truth be told, again, you're talking about someone who continually lied to the press, continually lied to the American people, literally had to change the definition of words to get himself out of trouble. Because when Rand Paul was hitting him on, how these mRNA vaccines were made and all that stuff, he denied in terms of what the process was and all that. It's like, what kind of quote unquote scientist or doctor is this?
Yeah, again, I think he became more of a political, and he enjoyed it too. He
loves the spotlight.
The spotlight of how much he was getting, because he was on the news every single day doing interviews with everyone. And and I think it went too far when he started sparring with Senator Ron Paul. I think you're right. When he had to go back and forth and then clean it up, I think Americans were
literally changing the definition of certain terminology. And again, that Rand Paul's the wrong person to do that with. Now, mind you, his doctorate is in what is it, optometry or something?
I don't know.
I mean, it's certainly not whatever Fauci went to school for, but still, I mean, it's in the medical field, and you're not going to pull something like that over on somebody again who has also studied medicine. Which, thank God that that he was around to actually kind of hold his feet to the fire on this stuff.
I will. Again, he is saying that he is going to retire soon. I think it depends. Honestly, I think it depends what happens this November. If the Republicans can get back the Senate and the House, I think there are 1,000 committee hearings with him in it. And he's going to get dragged in every single one of them and talked about what kind of mess he has created. And I don't think he wants to deal with that. I wouldn't be surprised that the week after November 7th is when he says that he's retiring this year.
That would make sense.
Yeah. So then he doesn't have to deal with the new Senate.
Well, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to deal with Trump again. That's for sure.
Oh, no matter what he says no matter what, he was going to resign at the end of the Biden administration. So he already said it once that he was going to end. He was going to be out.
But that's the thing. The guy gets off easy. He gets off probably with a 6-figure pension.
He'd be the highest.
He's already made.
I think he's the highest paid
government employee
now. Yeah.
He's going to get book deals. He's going to get all kinds of speaking fees.
He caused too much damage, and we should have put him on an igloo and put him out to sea. That honestly is what we should do.
So all right. So Dr. Fauci.
I didn't know he was 81 years old.
No, looks good for 81.
Good for 81.
Yeah,
not gonna lie. Good.
Now, heaven forbid somebody go and protest at his house, because
I'm surprised
can't have that.
I'm surprised he doesn't do a double Windsor knot for his ties. I'm very surprised about that. For a man that educated,
you would.
I'm just saying, I would expect more.
All right, everybody. Thank you again for watching the Yard Sign Anibal, David Cabrera, and Jonny Torres with you tonight. Thank you so much for listening, watching, wherever you may be doing so. We have long wanted to do kind of a segment like this, and we're going to go ahead and do it now to kind of bring this show in for a landing. But this is going to be a lot of fun. We'll probably do variations of this as, again, we'll take a look at mail pieces. We'll take a look at campaign materials. I've actually got a stack of campaign materials in my car.
Who would have thought that the Yard Signs would finally be talking about
yard signs? And if a sign company would like to sponsor this segment,
that's a good idea.
Well, think about it. This would be the perfect publicity.
Like right here, there would be the name.
Brought to you by, our friends over at Blankety Blank.
We know people that own their
sign companies.
Yeah, we know people. We can easily.
I need to work on that.
Okay, that's your job.
Yeah, I know.
That's not my job.
So, all right. So, Yard Sign Strategory. Again, Anibal and I have been in this game for some time, and so we're not the be-all, end-all opinion on yard sign design, per se, but I do have a background in marketing and advertising, and Anibal's been, again, in politics just as long as I have, and we've seen kind of what works, what doesn't work, especially when it comes to a lot of these rookie campaigns, which we actually got quite a bit of rookie campaigns.
Here are a few. I mean, Jonny and I became friends because we were the only Hispanics at a campaign event.
That's right.
Honestly.
Yeah. Standing in the back of the room.
And because of the back of the room, two big Hispanic guys. They didn't talk to us because they thought we were Democrats.
Infiltrators. Moles.
People still think of that.
Yeah.
I mean, when was the last time you were called?
Well, we also still hang out in the back of the room.
I know.
So it doesn't help.
It doesn't help. This past week was the monthly HREC meeting, which became a fiasco. Because
let's start with that one, though, because that's a classic.
The last one.
Okay. All right.
That's the last
all
one.
right.
Well, second
Go ahead. I'll let you drive the bus.
Thank you so much. Now that I'm in charge.
I'm the captain now.
Okay. Yeah, I know the producer's in charge. So again, to give you a little bit of clarity, none of these were picked in order. These were just that were left over at the HRAC meeting that we all attended.
And also, this is not a reflection on the campaign. It's not a reflection on the candidate. This is a purely a criticism, a critique
or praise.
No, because a critique could be either way.
Yes,
this is purely a critique of the design of the yard sign.
So we're going to have this conversation. I'm loving the comment section, by the way. Game in function.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, so again, just because your campaign is not reflected on these does not mean that they're not going to talk about you.
Well, for those of you in the comment section, at the end, let us know which one of these is your favorite. Which ones do you think is the winner of the yard signs?
Yes. Again, this doesn't reflect who we agree or disagree. These
it's not about the candidate.
No, this is just about the candidates. And next week, we're going to have a brand new crop of different ones because there's plenty of campaigns out there.
Yeah, we missed out on a few.
On purpose.
Possibly. All right. This is, I don't know if he's a first-time candidate, but he's certainly new to this race.
I believe, so this gentleman is running in 65.
Yeah.
For house race.
Yeah.
And the first thing that I thought about this was that it was a little bit busy, but what saves it is the green, honestly. I think is what saves it because it pops out that part.
See, to me, I get why they went with the green, but it clashes with, and I think this may have been like a special edition for the 4th of July. Is what I'm thinking they were doing here. But so if it were just the bottom, yes, I would agree. Like the yellow kind of highlighter yellow M kind of makes it pop. What's interesting is no first name.
Correct.
Which I think is smart because again, on the ballot, you're going to be listed by last name.
Yes, you can tell who the person is because of the disclaimer that's on the bottom. So that
which nobody ever reads.
No, I will say this though: if it's because now you have those long rectangular ones that are coming out, this would be a perfect one for that.
Yeah,
because the way the last name takes out the whole bottom, so it could be half of this and it work out perfectly.
Yeah. Now, personally, I would have kept because it's in all caps. Yes. All of it's all caps, with the exception of the website. The website is actually one of the most important elements of the sign, and I would have made that all caps as well.
Well, the reason why I don't like making the website all caps is because sometimes people will misunderstand what an I and an L is. Honestly, that happens a lot. Okay. So I understand why they do the caps.
All right.
Oh, other way. We'll just do it here in front of the laptop.
Well, it blocks the whole. Oh my gosh.
Okay. So again, if this is just a 4th of July situation, then I think I like it. I like the idea of it. And I would say
for a 4th of July special edition kind of thing, yes. But again, if you're a state house campaign, it's also a waste of money.
I will say this though, if they shouldn't be squares, they should be rectangles.
Yeah, which actually makes it more visible.
It makes it more visible
because people are used to the square signs.
You know who has rectangular?
And rectangular signs make it catchier.
And the thing is, the last name has to be long. So I saw this today in Seminole Heights. Harrison has the rectangular.
Oh, okay.
And so I was going to steal it, but I know the campaigns. I'll just borrow one.
Yeah.
However, it was rectangular, and I caught my eye.
Okay.
And I was like, that makes sense. It's a long last name, so it makes sense. It could be rectangular.
Yeah.
I like the rectangulars, and it also saves you in print and everything else.
Well, because you essentially can get 2 signs for the price of one.
Because you really don't need this big. It does. See, half of this isn't even necessary.
Right.
For the 4th of July, yes.
And that's probably why they had to do this.
Yeah.
Probably because his name is so long that they couldn't figure out how to fill the rest of the space.
I like it. Some people are saying 9 out of 10. Good job.
9 out of 10. Okay. Well, that's more generous than I. Actually, let's do that. So what score do you give it?
I give it for 4th of July, I give it a 7. If it's no, I give it a 6. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I give it a 6.
I'm with you on the 6. It's just too many colors.
It's too much. It's
too much going on.
Yeah. Again, if I like the top, I need to see what the normal one is now. So I'm going to be looking out for this one.
Yeah.
If it's just the bottom part, I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
I think it works out.
Just the bottom easily would have been like an 8 or 9.
I agree. I think the bottom would be an 8 or 9.
Yeah.
You want to zoom in to see if that works? Okay, move it towards me.
Putting it, yeah. Move the computer.
Oh, this. Hold this. Just hold it while I move the computer.
Here we go, like this.
Such a good. No, now it's blocking you.
I feel like David Letterman. Remember Letterman would hold out the...
Okay. Now does this work? Or do I need to move my computer more?
Just put it in front of your computer.
I am going to. I just need to see what the camera is going to look like.
Oh my gosh. As you can see, we really rehearsed this, folks.
I mean...
All right, there we go. I like that.
Let's go.
Okay. That's doable.
Our next category...
All right, next one.
Okay. Is... Bam.
A judge. Oh, no, not a judge.
Congressional.
See, and to me, that's an unfortunate thing that there's no way to overcome that.
There's no way.
Because the guy's last name is Judge, but he's running for Congress.
So again, we are not picking these out because these are our favorites or anything else. These are just the ones we were able to grab. So for James Judge, for Congress to restore faith, and then he does do the the lowercase for the website and then the disclaimer. I am not happy with this. I think it's all right. I think it really does what it needs to do, which conveys the premise. So his last name is larger than his first name and everything else. So I get it. The restore faith, does it really matter? No.
I would have put the for Congress down there.
Yeah, I would have also. Because really no one cares about the restore faith. It doesn't matter. This is, again, I think people put too much emphasis on what these things are for. And what these are for is to make your name stick out to someone's head when they vote for you.
And I mean, I do like that they put the kind of resemblance of the Capitol building, over the name. It was kind of a good way to fill that space and, and say, okay, this is a congressional race. Because, again, they got to overcome the fact that this guy's not running for judge. He's running for Congress.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, my favorite part about this sign is the fact that they put the website in its own block, in its own color.
That's the only thing that's saving this yard sign is the fact that...
And then it's in a very large font.
Yes. The problem is I give this... It's a very large font. It does what it's supposed to do, but I still rank it pretty low. It's a red, white, and blue. So you're going to look like everyone else. And that's the problem. Everyone else is going to look the same way.
Right.
And so because there's no different color, because there's no different there's no difference.
And that's just a natural problem with again, especially federal races, because they're all going to want to go red, white, and blue.
But when you do that, you all look the same. And that's the problem. So I like the idea. This is a nice one, but for a yard sign, it doesn't work. It just does. I'm not crazy about it.
Yeah, and again, restore faith in what? Like restore faith in Congress? Restore faith in our nation? Restore faith? Like it's too open-ended for me.
I have an issue with it. I don't like it. Okay.
So your score?
My score is it's going to be a 5. And the reason why I'm bringing it down is because the colors. It's just the same old, and I'm not crazy about it. Again, and I don't understand the restore faith. I get what you're trying to do. I just don't like. Also, the star, is it too separate? It's restore star faith. That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
I don't get it. Again, the now bottom
that
third,
makes it even make less sense. Makes less sense with the star in the middle.
So again, this to me, the bottom, the 1/3 in the bottom, I love. I love the red block and everything else. That gets you to 5 points.
My only issues with that font, again, at a distance. Now, it depends. Like, if this is on the side of the road, that's going to be hard to read.
Yes.
If it's in somebody's lawn, then you're fine. Mm-hmm. But on the road, you're not going to read that.
I would have rather you had increased.
You're not going to read the for Congress. You can't read the.
But that's the thing. I would have rather you take out the restore faith and just increase the size of the James Judge for Congress and put that as and fill that whole space. Because look, you have this space that has nothing here.
Yeah.
And you could have just blown the whole thing up and it would have been fine.
Well, they have the space within the colors and then they have the white space around that. So wasn't, again, they didn't quite maximize those.
Two things that the art sign is supposed to do. It's supposed to send people to your website, which this does very well. And then it's supposed to remind people your name when they go to pull the ballot.
I'll stick with it. I'll go with a 5 too.
Yeah. So Miss Laura Hartman gives it a 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay, this was a lot of controversy ahead of time, and this one was
our pre-show discussions.
But
see, let me just preface this by saying what I like about school board races is that they can actually be more creative.
They can, and I feel this is more creative. I
Yeah.
love the apple. I
hadn't noticed the apple until today.
I noticed the apple immediately, and then I noticed. I
drove by. I was in the Brandon area, and I drove by a business that had a bunch of these, like huge.
Yeah.
And I didn't catch the apple.
I caught the apple. I love the pencil. I think that's amazing.
I think the pencil's brilliant.
We're getting a little bit of shine. Okay, so this is automatically you can look at it and you can see
because it's not cheesy.
It's not cheesy. That's the beauty of this.
Like for me, there's this lady Karen Perez who's running, her sign is like in chalk.
Yes,
that's cheesy,
and it's very difficult to read.
Yeah, and then somebody always does the chalk thing.
Yeah, so I like this. I will say though, I see chalk all the time, Madam Producer.
yeah, that's right. No, our producer's giving us good notes here. I mean, they don't even use chalk in schools anymore.
Isn't that anti-environment?
With the chalk?
Yeah.
I don't know. I give my kids sidewalk chalk.
Oh, those are really cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay.
And it just goes right into the drain.
More pollution.
Washes
out. Okay.
Out
So my second critique of this one is I actually like the colors. Yeah. I like the black.
I do too. I've always been a fan of black and gold.
I don't know if this is gold. I think this is pencil yellow, but
gold would have been better.
What color do you think this is, Madam Producer? Okay, she says it's mustard. I like the color. There is no website. Does it say it in the bottom?
You know what they could have also done if they didn't do the pencil at the bottom? They could have made the eye into a pencil.
Yeah,
that would have been cool.
That would have been cool. The eye at the end of Patty. I would have liked that. Okay, so I say this.
I love this one. I do. I mean, short of
the website.
Yeah, no website.
No website. So that right there drops it a few points.
Mind you, again, people don't know what district they live in.
No.
People don't care what district they live in. You're either going to be on their ballot or you're not.
Which is why I don't understand why. I get it. The disclaimer needs to say you're
the disclaimer, yes.
But now you're saying the same thing twice.
And this one, they're being super meticulous about the disclaimer.
I don't even think that's officially required.
Political advertisement paid for and approved by Patricia Redmond for Hillsborough County School Board.
That's too much. That's too much. Okay. Anyways, so let's do this. Let's take out
District 4
and put the website right there with that color. And now you have the contrast of the black and orange or mustard, however you want to say it. So Miss Laura Huntman says it's a 6 out of 10. I'm going to give this
6.
She says 6. I'm going to give it
low.
I'm going to give it a 7 because the website, even though I love the colors and everything, it's the website for me.
Okay, wait. Should the apple have been in color? Like a red apple.
Do you know how expensive these things are? 3 colors?
Yeah, that's
crazy.
True. Yeah. That's true.
That's you crazy. 3 colors? What are you? Chelsea Clinton?
I love this one. I'm gonna give it.
The apple red. If all the gold was red.
Oh yeah,
that would be
well, but a red and black don't. Red drowns in black.
So the black would have to be a different color.
Yeah, and we actually have an example of something close to that in another sign. But I want to give it a 9, but because of the District 4, I'm gonna give it an 8. No, yeah, look, honestly, no website. No website.
No website.
Now, mind you, yes, nowadays everybody Googles everything anyway. So,
do you really think people care about the Google either?
No.
Okay, we've talked about this enough.
Or you could have put Google Patty Rendon.
That would be that would be different. No, that would be a problem. You'd have to. You're gonna put the word Google. It's trademarked.
Well, anyways.
Okay. Our next contestant is Boom.
Oh, this one's.
This is rough. This is rough. So in our earlier conversations, this was less of a yard sign and more of a bus stop sign.
I'm going to start with the positive. Let me start off with the positive here. Okay, I like that they used the entire sign end to end.
Yes.
The artwork goes all the way to the end.
Yes. Not really.
It does.
You have at least 2 inches on the bottom.
No, but I'm saying like the coloring, the artwork goes all the way to the end. Yes. Okay. The way the other ones do it, they do it it's just to save a buck, basically. Okay. But now the rest of the story.
So really, this whole thing should just be, where is it? Just this part. Everything else should not be in this. Like, there's no reason you have vote August 23rd on here. There's no reason why the disclaimer is so far on the bottom. There's no reason for the gentleman to be on here.
Nope.
If anything, this whole thing just could have been from like here to here to here.
Nobody cares about the rest of the state.
No one cares about it. I don't know why the whole state of Florida is into this.
He's not running statewide.
No, not at all. Oh, I'm sorry. Is this someone that's running in Florida?
Again,
I had no idea.
Again, going back to
No idea. Again, I feel
going back
like
to, do you really need to put your district? Now, Hatfield for Florida, if that took up the entire sign left to right, that and with the website beneath it, that's it. That's all you need.
the problem is I feel like he's running for Senate or he's running for governor. Like that's what I feel like he's running.
I feel
for.
like he's running with the Chamber of Commerce. Like I don't like. I don't know. Like it's not. This doesn't sell me as a politician. Like he doesn't. He doesn't sell me as someone who's gonna end up in our legislature.
Also, who do you know puts their whole face and body into? I don't remember anyone that's been successful in a race that's done that.
No,
it's been a very long time.
Unless I looked like The Rock, I probably would not put my face and body on a sign.
I think I've seen. No, that's not yard signs. It's other promotions. So yeah, no, I think this is way too much. At the end of the day, I feel that this is a bus stop.
No
chair.
website.
I feel this is a bus stop chair, like advertising. That's what I feel like.
This or like a newspaper.
Okay, Laura.
Or like a newspaper advertisement.
So the comment section is being real. It says too busy, no photo, and I want to go eat KFC.
Yeah. Like this is somebody who I would ask, hey dude, like what's your favorite barbecue spot?
Yeah, like I truly believe he knows what he's talking about.
Not hey, what are your thoughts on state policy?
Like, what are you gonna do with the budget? We're so bad. Laura's worse though.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I agree. So she gives this a 2 out of 10, and I concur. This is rough. There's no need for August 23rd. There's no need for 80% of this. There's no need.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, especially name Hatfield. I mean, obviously is very recognizable. Not so much in Florida, but Hatfield, McCoy's, that whole deal. Again, but no website. This is probably illegal. This disclaimer probably does not meet requirements. Does not meet the requirements there.
Paid for that means it's from a PAC.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's still tiny.
I think this is from a PAC.
Which I don't know. I don't know legally like how large that's supposed to be.
I don't think.
But they did waste. Look at all this beautiful real estate down here. Look at all the
space down there.
That beautiful real estate.
I think this is from a PAC. I'm almost positive because the way it describes itself on the bottom, it does not say.
But again, if you already put Florida House District 68 on the top in the logo, why do you need to list it again in the middle of the sign?
You don't need the person, or no, you don't need the state. You don't need the person. Honestly, that's all.
And you don't need all this text down here.
This is all you need.
This text over here.
Wow, we look super dark.
Like
I know. Look at this. We look so burnt.
Hi there. I'm telling you, I want to grab a bite to eat with this guy. He probably knows like the bomb places to eat.
I'm telling you, we look super dark. Okay, moving on.
Been getting a little bit of sun.
Not as much as I'm assuming I must have. Okay, so again, we are not supporting or what would be the?
We're gonna get calls about this. We're gonna get emails or calls or text messages.
So many emails. Okay, again, in no particular order or anything else. These were
preference.
No preference. These were just what was remaining at the HREC meeting that we attended.
This does not reflect on the candidate or their campaign.
Well, we're literally talking about their campaign material.
Okay, well, it reflects a little bit on the campaign, but not the candidate.
We're being as super nice as possible, but the comment section is on fire.
Yeah, I think this clip's going to go viral. Here we go. Why are you ripping off the governor, bro?
I'm sorry. Did Top Gun come out with a campaign for a logo?
No, DeSantis' new logo is very Top Gun.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Line them up. I am trying to, but they're all technically different. You know what? I'm just gonna take the other ones out.
This one kind of comes off to me as like a delivery service. It's just like because the stripes are only on the one side.
again,
like if you're going for the military thing, then put them on both sides. Give it that Top Gun look.
They would have looked phenomenal.
Have you not seen the DeSantis logo?
I'm gonna pull it up right now. Honestly,
You need to pull it up because I mean that's kind of what they're going for here, sort of, without actually ripping it off. Now, I like that the text is large. It's easy to read. It's right to the point. Grimes.gop, great website, by the way. I think that's beautifully done. Disclaimer, also, I mean, easy to read. It's there. It's legible. It's, it is what it is. I mean, really, do you need more than this? No. I do like the simplicity of the sign.
So I know what you're talking about in regards to it's not pulling it.
It's the one I have in the back of my car, so I'll show it to you after the show.
Okay, well, the bumper sticker might be different. Let me write down bumper sticker.
So, I mean, it looks like it's slanted because, again, it's not balanced. It's got the little star with the Florida to the left.
You're
it's
right.
Got
it looks like the font is the same. That's
probably
the font is the same. Okay.
But it's got the stripes to the left. It's got the little star with the Florida to the left. So it looks off balance. That I don't like.
The star with Florida in it, it was not necessary. The little Florida, that makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah. One or the other.
Yeah.
Put a little Florida or put a star, but both, I mean.
Also, I think he was in the he definitely was in the military. I think he was a pilot.
Which might be what they're going for here.
But if that's the case, then let that be on both sides and let it be symmetrical.
Well, and it doesn't balance out. Like, it's not a balanced design.
It looks weird. And then there's so much space that you're killing in the bottom. That's what annoys me. That there's so much space in the bottom.
Yeah. But again, what else do you do? I like the simplicity of it, but then what else do you do with that space?
Yeah. Also, I think again, this is another.
Now, here's where you could fill
I think this is another pack that did this.
America First or something, you could kind of do, to fill in some of that space.
I do. Again, I
like the website.
I love the website. I think it's phenomenal. But again, this could have been another rectangle kind of situation where you bring, because again, you could have cut everything down and just bring up the website and the disclaimer, which is a very big disclaimer actually.
And I like that there's no district.
Yeah.
Because again, doesn't matter.
No, you're running for Congress. It is what it is. Again, the goal
you're either on the ballot or you're not.
Yeah. So I like the simplicity of this one. I cannot stand the Florida star. I think that's stupid. But everything else makes sense. Again, there's only five big words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I like the elements.
11.
I don't like the design. I'll kind of break it down that way.
I agree with you. I love the elements. I do not like the design whatsoever. I think the 3 lines, the 3 blues stripes should have been on both sides.
Yep.
And you could have even got rid of the star and the state. It would not have mattered.
Yeah.
And then bring everything down. It could have been horizontal. One. This could have had so much potential, and I don't like it.
It looks like a first draft.
Yes, it does look like a first draft. Absolutely. Yeah. And they just went with it. Also, I don't think it was from the actual campaign itself, the way the disclaimer reads.
Okay.
And that's, again, you can tell pretty quickly if it's from the campaign or if it's from a PAC.
Right, because it doesn't say approved by so-and-so.
Correct. Okay, what would you give this one?
Gosh.
It's hard.
I'm torn because, again, I like the simplicity, but I don't like the design.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 6. It's like borderline 5, but I'll give it a 6.
The reason why I'm going to give it a 6 as well is because the website is so good. The website is so good. And
by the way, if you're listening to the audio version of the show, obviously you're completely missing out. So you need to go to the YouTube channel and check this out. And well, actually, I think I'm also going to clip out this whole section because it's a lot of fun.
Us talking.
All right, next. Let's go.
Okay, next. And the next one, again, disclaimer, we are not approving or not at all. This was not planned whatsoever. If anything, it would not have come up in this one. But here is the next one.
Yeah.
So, again, whoever is doing the consulting for these congressional districts, this one did a really good job. Now look at the disclaimer in the bottom.
Yeah.
So it's paid for by the candidate for Congress.
By the campaign. Yeah.
This one says Grim for Florida, so that's why I think it's this one's a PAC and not this. I think that's the actual PAC name. I love this one, honestly. I think it is very much what you go down for. Again, the only thing I have a problem with is that there's no website. That's the big one. That's the big problem. So that loses some points when it comes to.
I would have done something else other than a star. Again, this isn't Texas.
What would you have done?
This isn't Texas. Nobody cares about your star. I would have put in the state. Maybe put the state there.
I think the state of Florida could have. We should give this to your daughter so that she can start editing, taking our notes.
Just take a crayon to it and just start.
Well, I agree. I think the state of Florida would have made much more sense and could have fit in that section much better.
The truth is that you remove the star, now you got this weird empty space there.
Yeah. So no, I understand the reason for putting something in there, but you could have put the state there. And you know what? It might have looked worse, honestly. But I think it would have made more sense if it was the state of Florida.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing in
and it
her
would
name
look
that's a
weird.
star.
I mean, but again, it doesn't. The star looks weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. There's not much you can do there.
However, this tells you exactly what to see on the ballot, which is her last name.
Yeah, but again, it there's not a lot of room there for the website.
There is. You could have easily done
but
it
they could have moved
Congress.
Congress up a little bit. They could have, they could have tweaked it a little bit.
So if you would have just reduced the top,
But again, they maximized,
and that's what
they also maximized the sign.
But that's the thing, that there's enough space between Congress and the disclaimer that you could have put the website. Though even the disclaimer is a little bit too big, honestly.
Yeah.
So you could have easily put the website right there.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm very disappointed with the fact that there was no website. However, it does what it's supposed to do. It takes every inch of the yard sign and uses it.
But it also begs the question that in today's elections, does everybody just Google everything anyways? And does the website really matter?
You're right.
I mean, that's a genuine, and I mean that. That's a genuine question. Does the website really matter when people are going to Google stuff anyways?
And I think that's the bigger problem with today's situation, is that when you Google people, you're going to get the bad, including the bad, the ugly, and the good.
You know what I might do with the star instead?
What?
A QR code.
What? Yes. We're done. That's it.
Give me my money.
We should start paying for this. We should start being consultants, honestly. That would have been, you know what?
If anybody steals my idea, I would like a check, please.
I don't need the sass from the producers. I can feel the eye rolls.
You could make that check out to the yard sign, care of Jonathan Torres.
Anibal Cabrera. And so that's ingenious.
QR code.
Dead space QR code.
Takes you right to the website.
You're already doing it.
Well, no, but again, if it's in somebody's front yard, if it's in somebody's front yard.
You know how many accidents?
I'd send it to my YouTube channel and have it play a video.
That would be
Have
good.
it play my campaign video.
That would be amazing. Yeah, straight to the website and to the campaign video.
Yeah. Damn, that's good.
That's good job. Good job. You go, Glen Coco. You go, Glen Coco. You know what?
All right, next.
Okay. Last but not least, and again, next week we will have more yard signs from different campaigns if they let us.
I know. Nobody's going to give us their yard signs after this.
Okay, and the last but not least.
This is tough because, we've had Ashley on the show before.
She is a friend. Allie is a friend of the show. So we are going to be nice. No, we're not. So my favorite thing about this is the L. I love the L. I think it's amazing. It works very well. And then I have my issues. My issues are the red box. I think it was used wrong, incorrectly. I would have loved the website to be in the red box. Put the red box.
The colors are just all wrong.
We're all going to say this. So what you're seeing,
green on a white background doesn't work.
What you're seeing is different. The problem is the green, and in our visual, it's an orange.
Yeah,
it's almost like a sherbet. It's a sherbet green and a sherbet orange. On the screen, it looks like a red. What are you saying?
Well, it looks more like a dark orange,
Yes. And so on camera, it looks
a mint green,
like a red, and it looks like a mint green. So the color is a little different.
I think it is a mint green.
I don't know. Okay, so this is the problem. She is saying District 6 twice on this screen, the disclaimer and in the red box, which I think doesn't make any sense. So, and she has the whole thing, Hillsborough County School Board, District 6 countywide. I don't like this.
Again, get the district. She's saying District 6 is countywide.
Yes.
But again, you're going to be on the ballot.
Yeah.
And if you're countywide, you're on everybody's ballot.
Yeah.
So then it really doesn't matter.
That's the problem. It doesn't matter at all. Everyone's going to see. You should probably say school board, Hillsborough County School Board. That's
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
But you can find somewhere else to say that.
Again, it's in the disclaimer.
Yeah. And that's my issue.
Because that's an official disclaimer.
Yes, and that is from the campaign.
Yeah.
It tells you what
district. Because it's just like Patty Rendon's.
Yes.
Website, she needs a new website.
It's too long.
It's too long. It's hard to spell. It's too many letters. It's I would have gone with Leg for School Board or Alley for School Board.
Yeah, because she wants to do school board for a while, so it's easy if she would have just said Alley for School Board.
Yeah,
I think that would have been easy. I think it's a little too much in regards to, and then you have
if you're walking by or driving by, there's no way I'm going to remember that website.
No, it's too long. And I think for that website, there's just no point. There's no point of putting it in there. I don't think it's appropriate. This is also big enough. They could probably be horizontal, honestly, because of all
even the horizontal.
I do. I like the horizontals.
I don't. Well, no, I don't know that you can do horizontal with this one.
Yeah, you might be right. Actually, now that I think about it,
because of the last name and then needing the I mean, I guess you could kind of design anything to be horizontal, but.
Again, Allie Marie. I like the Allie. I don't think she needed the this part. She doesn't need this part.
Yeah, but you're right. Look at all the dead white space at the top.
Yeah. If anything, this top space should have all been Allie Marie. That's what it should have done.
Yes.
It should have just been Allie Marie.
Move that up.
Yes. So we kill.
Well, does Alicia come up on is that on the ballot?
Yeah, it is, but it's the last name. Leg is the most important part because leg will be
right.
Definitive.
So you move the first name up to the top of the arrow.
You get rid of this and you blow this up, so then it opens up.
Oh, you're saying get rid of Alicia?
Yeah, I think you get rid of it because if I was her, I would.
Okay, but either way, you move that part to the top.
I would have to see how she registered,
and now you have more space to work with.
I would want to see how she registered because I don't remember when I did the paperwork. I think it says the whole thing, so her name will be the longest name.
And by eliminating District 6 countywide, you actually have more room to make Hillsborough County School Board larger.
Yes. If you're going to say Hillsborough County School Board, then you could have got rid of District 6 countywide, put Hillsborough County School Board, or Hillsborough County countywide.
I don't get the arrow thing. I know you like it. I don't
know why, but I like it. I don't know why.
I don't get it. I don't know.
I think it's moving forward. I haven't heard any.
Moving up. Moving on up.
Moving on up. Do you know the rest of it?
To the east side.
To the east side.
And deluxe apartment in the sky.
Deluxe apartment in the sky. We've lost our audience.
All right. So, I mean, I think that we've kind of said what there is to say here. I mean, so much love to Allie because she's awesome. But
she's awesome. I love her. I think she'll win her race.
Yeah. I would rethink the mint green. She's got to do a different color.
I like the sherbet green and orange.
But then it needs to be a different background color or something.
Yeah, I agree. It needs to be
because that mint green drowns itself in the white. It's kind of the same reason as the last one we're going to do.
If you put a border, I don't know about the last one. If you put a border around legs, I think it might be better.
No.
Okay. This was the end of the normal.
Or if you break it up like the judge one, one color block and then another color block.
Again, that color block, he was great.
I like the color block idea.
That was good. I liked it. I think it worked very well. Okay, the last one. Okay, so if you want to, this is difficult because we're going to have to hold it. Okay, Miss Producer?
Yeah, this one's, so, all right, so I know one of the things you definitely want to talk about is the plastic versus I don't even know what to call this.
It's plastic.
Plastic versus, this is called,
cork.
Yeah, it's corrugated plastic. Yeah. So it's corrugated.
Either way, we are encouraging oil consumption. Okay, my first complaint is that it's a plastic. I do. It's a
you don't
flabby.
like these?
No, because I think it just looks cheap. I get it. There's going to be 1 million of these produced, so I understand the cost parameter. So I understand. I just don't like it. I'm not.
Well, it's a lot cheaper to produce.
It is a lot cheaper to produce, and even the metal itself is easier to produce as well because it's not the H. It's just a U.
Really. And it's not holding it up.
No. Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. It's not holding it up. Okay. My second problem with this is the red with the blue.
Yep.
That's my biggest problem.
And that's what I was getting at with the mint green with the white is that red blends into dark colors. And so red blends into, it's why super off the charts tangent. But Lennar, the home builder, rebranded some years ago to red and black, and it ended up being disastrous for their brand because red and black blended too much together. Yeah. And so red and black are depressing colors, and it was terrible for real estate. But again, it just gets lost.
Yeah.
And when you're driving by it, again, you're which I get. Okay, great. The last name stands out. That's what pops.
Yeah, Rubio pops. I love what they did with the state of Florida. I think that works well. It's cute. You know what this is missing? No
but
website.
invert the colors. Yes. Right. So leave the red, but then do Rubio U.S. Senate in blue. And make the background in white.
You know what?
That would save a lot of ink.
It would save a lot of ink, but it's plastic, so technically it's not ink. What I would say is I like Rubio in white with the blue. I think that's fine. I don't even think you need a Marco. I think you need Rubio. He is big enough that you don't need the last. You don't need the first name. I don't think you need the first name. I think Rubio is big enough that he is now, like you said, he is the longest serving senator in the state of Florida. So because of that,
but most people, I think if you just did Rubio, I don't think,
Who else are you going to think about when it comes to it? Again, you're doing by last name. So really, Rubio is what you're looking for. This could be a cube. Honestly, this could be a cube. It could be Rubio for U.S. Senate.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, and then it's small enough because Marco almost has the same number of characters as Rubio, so you can kind of put it above it, or
you move the disclaimer up here.
Yeah, but again, does it need a website? It goes back to the big question: does it need a website?
So if you say it doesn't need a website because of how famous he is, then he doesn't need Marco.
I don't know. I think Rubio it also just comes off bad.
No, have the R capitalized, and it's Rubio.
Yeah, I don't know. Not with you on that.
I like it.
We didn't rate the last. We didn't rate the last one.
We're being nice.
All right. Yeah. I mean, we saw what other was it? Romney? No. What other campaign was it that started this whole doing these plastic ones?
Romney.
I think it was Romney, right?
Trump did not do the plastic.
No. But okay. Well, what do you give that one?
It works well. I'm gonna give that. I'm going to give it a 4.
Really?
I don't like it. I don't like the color. Marco, don't get me wrong. I love Marco. I'm going to vote for Marco. I think he was a great senator.
Look at even just looking at it in the background there.
I see Rubio for U.S. Senate. That's what I see.
Yeah, the blue and the red drawing itself.
This could be a cube.
Cancel each other out.
It doesn't need to be a full.
A cube sign would be really interesting.
That's what I'm saying. It looks really cool if it could be a cube or even like turned on to its side.
And you could put Marco above it if you still wanted to use the first name.
Yes. If you capitalized R and made it big enough, you could have Marco. Oh, no.
No, just Marco above the Rubio and then, Which I like the little Florida. I like the little Florida over the I.
Do you like the idea that it's not capitalized?
Yes.
Okay.
Because he was like one of the first, if not the first, to kind of do that. And it stood out from all the other campaigns. It made it look young and fresh.
Okay.
And,
I can give you that.
It was now it doesn't seem that way, but at the time it was a very fresh, modern design.
If you move Marco on top of Rubio and the disclaimer underneath U.S. Senate, that's it. That's all you need.
A cube sign would be cool.
A cube sign would be cool. We know people at the campaign. Yeah. We could definitely have that conversation.
And put a QR code on the back.
Look at that. Look at us. Look at us.
Oh my goodness. All right. So you gave it a 4?
I gave it a 4. I'm not crazy about it at all. Again, it's too much colors. It's 3 colors right there is a problem. The red is completely gone. Marco is gone with the blue, with the dark blue in the back. There is no website. Again, if I say Rubio, U.S. Senator, that's it.
My main issue is actually my main issue is just the colors. I would have gone white background, Rubio, U.S. Senate in blue, and kept Marco in red, which I think was actually maybe the original 2010 layout. And to me, that would have been like an 8 or a 9.
I would say I agree with you, but look at all the dead space around this.
Yeah, but what else are you going to put there?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If the campaign feels that Marco Rubio is a big enough name, again, senior senator now of the state of Florida, if he's that big of a name that you don't need to write anything else in there, you don't even need a website. Are you crazy? Then
you can double your signs.
So then you do Rubio.
Well, you can double your signs for the price.
Rubio's U.S. Senate. Yeah. Do the QR code at the bottom, in between the name and the disclaimer, and that's it.
Put it in the circle.
That's all you do.
Either the B or the O.
Okay, let's calm down with this.
I'll give it, because I'm biased, but again, my only issue was it was really the color coordination.
Because I'm not biased.
I'll give it a 6.
No. That's being extremely generous.
No, I think the design is fine.
Yeah, but you can't look at all the space that's killing.
Yeah, but there again, it's a
Give
sign.
it a 5. Give it a 5.
No, because there's nothing else you can do with the space.
You could do a lot with the space.
No, what else are you going to do? Then if it gets too busy.
Website.
Again, do you really need to?
Do you need Marco?
Yeah, I
don't think you need Marco. Anyways, Senator, we are so happy to get you on the show eventually on the broadcast, and we look forward to, again, we will be doing this every week as primaries get closer and closer, and as we are given more yard signs. If you have yard signs that you would like to give us so we're able to critique others, then let us know, send it over, and we'll start talking about it.
Yeah, if you are a campaign candidate who would like to see your sign here on the show, feel free to reach out to us. Send us a message through any of our social media accounts, and we'll be sure to tell you where to send it.
We'll also, I think we're going to start putting them on the wall.
And then afterwards, they're going to tell us where to shove it. And then yeah, we need to start putting them on the wall.
Again, no horse in this. Well, not all of us have horses in this race.
Yeah. But on that note, that was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
We'll come back with, we'll like I said, we'll do other iterations of this with campaign materials. We'll do campaign mailers.
The mailers are going to be fun.
Oh, man. Those are going to be fun.
And how big they get. Those are
the sizes.
The most annoying part where they cannot fit in the mailers. But you know what, Johnny? One last thing would be a great way to end.
My daughter's going to go spider monkey on you in a minute.
My only comment is it's interesting to see what's happening in Sri Lanka with the collapse of the government, and it will be the first domino in many countries to fall. So I'm pretty excited.
Argentina's not far behind.
Pakistan is not far behind. Greece is not far behind. There are a lot. This new reality that the world is getting familiar with is going to be very detrimental to a lot of countries, and we look forward to watching and discussing every single one of them fall.
And there's a huge backlash against the Green Movement.
Completely. If Germany falls because of what's happened, it will be very interesting what happens with the Green Movement, because it will push it back 50 years, because Germany was one of the main ones that decided to shut down all of its nuclear power plants for green energy. And who would have guessed that the sun and the wind doesn't blow in the middle of winter? That is like 18 months during the year for Germany. So that's what's happening there. I think it's a big deal about what's going on. We're about to get cut off.
All right. On that note, on behalf of Anibal, David Cabrera, I'm Jonny Torres. Thank you, everybody, for listening, watching The Yard Sign, the most important relevant podcast in politics. Don't forget to subscribe, like, follow, ring the bell if you're on YouTube. And, of course, you can find the audio version of the podcast on any of the tech overlords platforms like Google, Apple, Spotify, Audible, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Odyssey, Samsung podcast platforms. We appreciate you so much for listening and watching the show. We'll catch you back here next Monday night. So long, everybody.